Hello everyone, welcome to my video on how to write a C++ program to count number of characters in a file. The problem definition is like this, that you are asked to write a C++ program to count number of characters in a given file. To write this program you have to follow these steps. The first step is accept first file name from the user. Open that file in input or read mode. Initialize one variable count to 0. Set the loop up to end of file. Then within this loop read a line from a file. Then using another loop count number of characters in that line using plus count. At the end of this loop display count as number of characters. So your count will indicate the number of characters in a file, and at the end close the file. Now let us see the actual C++ program in dev C++ compiler. So let us write a C++ program to count number of characters in a given file. So for that you have to include some header files such as iostream.h, fstream.h and string.h. As we are using dev C++ compiler, so in this the mainstream files does not require .h extension, that is iostream and fstream, and other files you have to include using .h extension. Then in the main program, in the main function, some declarations are there. Line is a character type array to read a line from a file, and fname is used to store the file name which is entered by the user. Then I is used to set the loop to find out the count number of characters. Len is the length of line, and count is counting number of characters. Initially it is 0. So let us accept a file name from user by displaying the message enter file names using scene fname. Accept the file name. Open that file fname into input mode. For it will require one input stream object, that is here fin is the ifstream object, and using this input stream object fin call the open function to open fname file, that is the file in input mode for read operation using iOS in mode. Now first of all let us check whether the file entered is exist or not by checking if condition, that is if not fin, and if this condition is true then we will display fin file does not exist. So like this, if file exists then further operations will be performed, and if file does not exist or if there is any problem to open this file, this message will be displayed. If the file exists then we will display the contents of that file also, and for that we will display the file as well as count number of characters simultaneously. So like this, here to count number of characters we will simultaneously display the contents also. So for that we will require one while loop up to end of file. So using fin stream object call eof function, and if this eof function returns 0, the end of file is not detected, means you have to perform the file operation further. First of all read the line from the file using getLine function, and store that line into the line array with calculated size. Then find the string length of that particular line, means how many characters are there in that particular line, and then set the loop, that is for I is equal to 0, I less than length plus I, and within this loop say plus count. So in this way the individual characters will be counted, and this count will be count the further characters in the further lines also. Display that line, then end of the loop. So in this while loop we are reading a line from a file, finding the string length, then counting the characters and displaying the lines. When the EOF is detected then the loop will be terminated. Then close the file and display number of characters adds the value of count and return 0 and end of the function. Let us run the program. So first of all I will enter the file which is not existing, that is a new file. So I will enter the file name as suppose list.txt. so this file is not existing in my folder, so it will give you the error message list.txt file does not exist. Now in my folder the file is existing as a sample. I will show you the contents. So these are the contents of the file sample.txt, and now I am going to provide this sample.txt as an input file name for the program, and let us check whether it is displaying the contents and counting the characters or not. So I will run the program now and will give the sample.txt as an input. So sample.txt, now it should display the contents and as well as count the characters also. Yes, so the contents of file are displayed here, 3 lines, and the number of characters in a file is equal to 144. So like this it counts all characters in this file. While counting the characters, it count all alphabets, then spaces, then punctuation marks like dot, comma, etc. So all characters will be counted. So in this way we have successfully counted the number of lines, the number of characters in a file. And the same operation we can perform here by changing some statement in the loop. First of all, we'll read a line using getLine function, then find the string length. Now the string length is nothing but the length of the line. Length of the line means total number of characters in one line. Now I will add that length value in count like this, that is count is equal to count plus len. So initially the count is 0 and this length, that is the number of characters in first line, will be added, and like this when the next line will be read, then the new line will be read using getLine function. The length of that new line will be calculated, and that new length will be added into previous count. Here the length, that is the number of characters in one line, will be calculated using string length function, and that value will be added in the previous count, and like this count will go on updating line by line, and like this the count value of count variable will indicate total number of characters in a file, and finally we can display the same count variable as number of characters in a file. Now let us run this program with this small modifications. So here also, now previously when we run the file, that time the number of characters were 144 in the sample.txt file. Let us see. Yes, here also the number of characters are calculated as 144. So like this, this is another logic with the help of which you can find out the number of characters. Hope you understood how to write a C++ program to count number of characters in a given file. Thank you for watching my video.